Hi, my name is Don, and this is my story. I was actually born in 1953, and my family moved to Blairstown in 54 when I was only a year old. We joined a Protestant church here. However, without all the sort of details, we were only guests at that church until I was 5 years old, and I was not baptized until that time. Subsequently, our family left a church environment some 5 or 6 years later. And for me personally, I was not involved in a church again until I was 49 years of age. I was reintroduced to a Lutheran church in California. The story behind that's rather interesting. And it sort of goes to the question of who influenced me in that situation. Without question, it was my now wife, Susan. We had not spoken a word since our graduation at North Warren in 1972 for nearly 35 years. We were both liquidating prior marriages that allowed us now to have a family of 4 children, 2 now on the East Coast and 2 on the West Coast. But we reconnected online, oddly enough, when she moved to California as part of her process, and we found that we were only an hour to an hour and a half away from one another. We reconnected. 2.5 years later, we were married. However, in the interim, we obviously went through a reintroduction, a courtship, and the whole process. Susan called one day and said, "I'm coming down on Sunday, and I found a Lutheran church, happened to be an ALCA church, right near you, and I want to attend services on Sunday morning. Would you go with me?" Reality is that if she asked me to go out to the shoreline and jump off the cliffs at Point Reyes, I would have done so without hesitation. So going to church was not a big problem. We never stopped going to church. I got reintroduced to, the Lutheran faith in Christianity through Pastor David Bondi, who is still there. We became eventually members of that church. I was an active lay leader. I was a communion assistant. I was a lector. And we were married in a high church service at that church some 35, actually at that point, more than 40 years after I had stopped going to church. So without a question, it is my wife, Susan, that brought me back to a church fellowship and the church environment. The church here has been indicative of what is happening with a lot of churches we find as we get more and more involved. We have been through several pastors, some of them ordained Missouri Synod Lutheran pastors, some not. We have been without a specific pastoral leadership as a called regular full-time pastor for years now. Yet we do trudge forward. We do move on. Our congregation has diminished radically. We have about 20 active members at this time. I say active members, those are people who are coming and participating. We do understand that has a lot to do with the pandemic. But it's also a very challenging time. But we have remained active and in fact open through much of this, following all the proper safety protocols and so forth, to provide a place of worship for our community. For anybody who cares to join. I have been a council member here for the 3 years that we have been here. I'm currently the property and grounds manager, and we do conduct worship every single week, despite all of the contemporary challenges. The relationship that we have currently with Bethlehem has been nothing short of a blessing from God. The hard work that the team at Bethlehem as a whole has done, the leadership of both Pastor Matt and Pastor Casey in providing a Kairos network and video opportunity, either through delayed broadcast video or through direct feed, has been incredibly beneficial to us, especially in the last year. We would watch the live stream of Bethlehem services throughout the pandemic. And then in early June, we started gathering outdoors at the church immediately thereafter. We still continue to provide a stream of the Bethlehem complete services on our website at 9:30 in the morning. So we were executing essentially what was the best of both worlds, and we continue to do that in a hybrid fashion now. I find myself inspired to act and contribute. Now, that, in some respects, I suppose, is my gift, if you will, and I'm inspired in that way. Currently, the district is providing a worship elder / deacon licensure training program. I have signed up for that. With that, be able to undertake the very difficult and rigorous work that's required to rebuild our congregation, evangelize, bring people in. So all of that inspiration comes not just from the fellowship of the people that are at the church, but God's guidance, Christ's guidance, and inspiration from the Holy Spirit.